What's up, everybody? Good morning. It's your boy MSM here, starting a new video blog. It's going to be on one of my favorite things, which is the world of film, television, video, a little bit of social media and stuff. So we're just going to give you a heads up of what's going on in the industry, different things going on out there you may not have heard of, you may have heard of, and just starting some talk out here. So first off, we want to start with, I don't know if you guys heard, but Disney is planning to start their own live streaming channel, which is good for a lot of Disney fans. It's a lot of Disney movies, a lot of Disney material that's not out there, that's old, that we all wish we could see. Downside, Disney plans to pull all of their content from Netflix. Now, this may be not devastating, but this may be a blow to Netflix. They got a lot of shows, but you gotta understand Disney owns Marvel, they own Lucas, they own a lot of stuff that's out there on Netflix. So Netflix is trying to strike a deal with Disney to at least keep their Star Wars and their Marvel films so that they can kind of keep that whole thing going. Me personally, I don't see it happening unless Marvel's going to throw a stupid amount of money at Disney. It's just not going to happen. On the topic of Disney, I don't know if you guys heard that Disney is planning to do a live action reboot of The Lion King, right? And they're going to have a lot of good people in there from what I hear. They're going to have, of course, James Earl Jones is coming back to do the voice of Mufasa. I hear that they have Donald, what's that guy named Glover, who's in everything nowadays. He's a great guy, great actor, the guy from Atlanta. He is supposed to be doing the voice of who's that? Simba, I believe. Simba, which is cool. You know, I can dig it. I'm sure Jonathan Taylor Thomas is still around to do that voice, but I understand what they're trying to do. Disney, I see what you got going. Cool. Alright. Also, I hear it's going to be Alfred Whitter's going to do a voice. Beyonce may be doing the voice of Nala and the complete soundtrack, which is awesome. I know all those Beehive fans are going to flock to get that soundtrack. Good stuff. But a little thing that you may not have known about Lion King, when they originally wrote The Lion King in the original script, Simba was supposed to be raised by Scar, which would have been very interesting as storyline wise. I know we love Timon and Pumbaa and that whole thing, but imagine the rivalry would have had if Scar would have raised Simba as his son, and then one day Simba realizing that Scar was the reason why his father was killed, or he was the one who killed his father, put everything in motion. Wow, that can make for some great storyline and be real deep. So that's just a little tidbit. If you haven't heard that out there on the internet or anything, that's was one of the original storylines for Lion King, was that Scar would raise Simba, which I think is real cool. In other movie news, I don't know if you guys heard, but one of my favorite movies is being rebooted again. They're going to make a Terminator 6. Yes, Terminator 6. And guess who's going to be in it? Your boy, my boy, Arnold Schwarzenegger is coming back to be in the Terminator 6. I think they're going to use him as the human basis for the T-800. So wondering what that looks like. I don't know how much more they can do with just Arnold Schwarzenegger's look, but interesting to see. I hear talks in the industry that James Cameron's coming back to direct, so that's going to be awesome. You know, kind of the original thing going on there. Haven't seen the last couple of them. I heard Genesis was great. I know there was a couple of them that didn't do too well. It kind of flopped, and they kind of took the storyline to left field and did some things. But I think that's a good one to look into. It may be something that might be hot in the future. You know, all the Arnold fans, they're rebooting everything from our generation. I'm an 80s baby, so they just rebooting the 80s thing altogether. So that's just another one to look out. If you're a Terminator fan, take a look out for the T-800. It's going to be in Terminator 6. I don't know what else they're going to do with it, but that's up and coming. So y'all guys check that out. In other news, we all know and beloved Adam West. God rest his soul. They actually are putting out his last installment of the Cape Crusader, which looks good. I don't know if you guys saw that last animated joint that they did, where they brought it back to the whole 60s style. It was real cool. It had all the cameos from like all the Catwomen, and it was real cool. I like how they did it. But they got his last installment. He actually recorded voice work for a animated movie, which is called Batman versus Two-Face. Looks interesting. I mean, show homage to our boy in his last showing as the Cape Crusader, which is too cool, you know. I like the last little animated one they put out. They kind of played on a lot of the Batman culture, which was great. So, guys, keep an eye out for that. Adam West and this last showing as the Cape Crusader. So go out and support that one too. Some good stuff. The Batman versus Two-Face is planning to go straight to DVD, Blu-ray. I think they got a release date of October 17th. I'm not sure if they're gonna push that back or not. So please don't try to hold me to that date. It's just what I've seen so far. Good stuff. Like I said, everybody, I'm into the TV and the movies. So one of my favorite TV shows on TV I've been watching since Jumpstart was Supernatural. A great show. If you guys don't know about it, you need to go check it out. They're going into their 13th season. Oh my gosh, 13th season, y'all. When I originally started watching this show, I loved it. The storyline was great, all that good stuff. And the writers originally wrote the show for 5 seasons, only 5 seasons. They got to the 4th, 5th season, and they were just making so much money. I guess they continued to take the story on. Come back on the 6th season was a little weak, but the storyline got better and better. They delved into things we never would even thought they would have went to from the first 3 or 4 seasons, which is great. So now they're in their 13th season. Sam and Dean are doing great. They done died and came back over a million times, it feels like. Sam's still making that sad face. Dean's still eating cheeseburgers and making cheeseburgers and stuff. Great stuff. Great show. But if you're a fan of the show, you'll love to hear what they're doing in the 13th season. They're doing a crossover episode with one of the most famous, like, mystery solving team ever. And if you haven't heard, yes, Sam and Dean are hooking up with Scooby and the gang. Yes, let me say that again. Sam and Dean are hooking up with Scooby-Doo and the gang to do a crossover episode. How cool is that? Yes, I hear that 3/4 of the show is going to be animated. From what I hear, Sam, Dean, Michonne, which is Castiel, they already been in the studio, done their voiceover work and everything. I hear everybody on the Hanna-Barbera side, they done did their majority of their voiceover work also, which is cool. I mean, when you look at it, they're both Warner Brothers. They're owned by Warner Brothers. There shouldn't be any problems with licensing and rights. So, looking forward to seeing how that's going to come out in episode 13, Supernatural. Watch it, guys. Alright, like I say, I'm an 80s baby, and the world is just full of reboots now. It seems like they're rebooting our whole generation. I got a couple of leads on some new reboots out there that's real cool. I don't know if you guys heard the Munsters. They're doing a reboot of Munsters. I don't know if it's like the 4th or 5th time they've done that, which is cool. I mean, I guess you can kind of do that. I hear that they're actually going back and they're going to do a new Roseanne show. You know, Roseanne from back in the day, Roseanne Barr, John Goodman, great show. I mean, I liked it as a kid. They're going to reboot it. I hear Dan's coming back. I don't know if you guys remember the end, but Dan's not dead. Dan will be back in the show, which is great and cool. We got a lot of other reboots coming out right now. One that I'm totally interested in, guys, they have a live action version, a reboot of the Jetsons coming out. Yes, the Jetsons. Believe it or not, the Jetsons. But the cool thing about this reboot and this live action, we all know the Jetsons took place 100 years into the future, and that's what made it cool. So I hear that they're doing the reboot of the Jetsons where they're doing it 100 years into the future still, but from today. So imagine our technology, which is pretty much the technology from the old Jetsons cartoon, already here. So now these guys got to come up with more innovative ideas to take it 100 years into the future to make the new Jetsons. I think that's like totally cool. I kind of want to see what they're going to do with it. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Well, I know this is my first video. I didn't want to keep it long. I just wanted to make it short and sweet, kind of show you guys what kind of stuff I'm going to be talking about in this show. It's just word on the streets with your boy MSM, you know. Got everything going. It looks good. The movie and the video industry is always going to be booming. Superhero this, superhero that, storyline this, storyline that. Everybody loves the industry. Everybody's trying to break into the industry. Got a lot of new cats out here that are doing great stuff in the acting world. We're going to touch a little bit more on that and a couple of other things. We're going to see if we can get some interviews via Skype, see if we can get some people in the house, see what's going on, some major players, and thank everybody for watching and supporting. I have more to come. Production value will go up. You know, it's first shout out, trying out things, but I'm glad you stayed long enough just to hear my little tidbits. Alright, peace and love. One love.